Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be playing around with my BC coilovers. We're going to be doing a little bit of a front end ride height adjustment. Now, I've gone ahead and I already did the driver's side, and I got it sitting kind of where I want it. But one of the key pieces that we were missing was the swaybar endlinks. I was just running the factory style ones, but I ended up getting a new one. Prothane, I believe the brand is, makes a shorter end link with poly bushings on them, and I'll show you the difference here between the two. So side by side here, I'll set them up a little nicer. Side by side, this one's a little shorter. Now these ones are for cars that are lowered more than, I think it's 1 3/4 inches. So that corrects like the front end geometry and whatnot, but this is the stock one. You can see it's a little bit taller, fully assembled, and obviously it wasn't letting me get any lower with the height that it was at. So now that I have these, I'm able to adjust the front end a little bit nicer, and I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys how my driver's side looks. That is my front end. It is sitting, it's pretty tight 2-finger gap right there, I'd say, but I just lowered it a little bit. It looks a little bit better. I'll go ahead and show you the other side. So that's how I guess it was kind of looking before. Pretty tall. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take that wheel off. I'm gonna get started on the end link on this side and adjust the coilovers. I already have a rough idea where I want it to be sitting, because I already did the other side and I got the measurements. So hopefully it goes pretty smooth on this side. It doesn't really take too long. The adjustment's pretty easy, and I will show you how to do that in this video. Okay, so I got the old end link out and I'm getting ready to put the new one in, but first I'm doing my adjustment on my BC coilover here. These are getting pretty dirty, and it makes it hard to spin these collars when they're filled with grime and whatnot. So you can always spray these with like WD-40 or whatever. Like you can see right there, it's clean, but up here it's pretty dirty. But once you get it moving a little bit, it'll be okay. So I have this right where I want it. Basically all you got to do is take the spanner wrench on the bottom one and push towards the car. That'll unlock this collar. If you spin it this way, counterclockwise, it will lower the car, and if you spin it the other way, it will lift the car. Basically what you're doing is adjusting the height of the whole entire strut, and for some reason for me, I have to take off the top bolt here. Like I have to loosen it for me to be able to spin it. I don't know if other people have been having that same thing with the BC coilovers, but that's just what's been working for me, so I've been doing it. So then to adjust the actual height of this, all you gotta do is spin this clockwise, the top collar right there. It's kind of hard for me to do it with one hand while holding the camera, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I got it set to the height that I wanted at, and then I will be back. So I got the coilover adjusted, everything is all good. Hopefully the ride height looks pretty good. Just need to tighten this down now, so this is all in here. Just needs to be tightened, and then in the near future I'm going to be doing a bump steer kit right here. I don't know how new these tie rod ends are. I think they were replaced when I bought the car, but they don't look too hot, and I think there's a little bit, just a little bit of play. And then I also have new lower ball joints that I'm going to do eventually as well, but I'm just I'm waiting to do all that other stuff once I'm ready to get an alignment. Number one on my list is to get this car dyno tuned, and then I can start worrying about the rest of this front end suspension. But other than that, I'm happy I got these coils adjusted, and I'm happy I got these new end links in, so hopefully it should be riding a little bit better now. Wheel is back on, everything is looking good. The ride height is pretty much the same now on both sides. It's got some pretty good fitment. I can definitely go a lot lower. Next step would be to do the rears, but right now I'm just happy with how the front end's sitting. It's a lot better than what it was before. I'm going to drive around on it, see how I like it, and then maybe I'll adjust just a little bit more on the front end there. But gonna get these wheels torqued up and I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm gonna go for a drive. Okay guys, so we're gonna take this thing for a little drive and hopefully it rides okay. I changed the dampening on the coilovers. Thing warm up a little bit. Haven't driven all day. Man, I can't wait to have this thing tuned. I'm really excited to see the numbers it puts down on the dyno. I have my appointment booked. I'm gonna film as much as I can there. actually pretty surprised at how well this thing's riding. Doesn't feel too bad at all. Hopefully this footage turns out okay. It's a lot of stop and go traffic, so you can kind of hear me going through the gears instead of just constant driving in 4th gear, for example, and all you hear is drone.